Hi, welcome to the van, the art studio, my little casita. I'm here camping in the snow. You can kind of see my breath. It's a little cold in here, but it's all good because I got some winter gear. Super awesome. Angel sleeping bag, so I'm sleeping like an angel. And I feel so relaxed right now and so happy for myself. I feel a little bit emotional, and for my birthday, I'm almost 30, and I came back to a place in which I raised myself in my early 20s to 19. I moved here as a teenager to Mammoth Lakes, California, and I'm currently back. So it's bringing back a lot of beautiful memories that I have created with myself, with the land, nature, and with beings that have lived here for many, many years. And I was able to really pursue yoga here. Really started going to a lot of yoga classes, very committed, and that made me want to become a yoga teacher. And this is the town in which I started teaching yoga. And this is also the town in which I quit drinking alcohol. I turned 21 here in Mammoth Lakes, and I remember that was the last time I had alcohol. With my 21st birthday, I was just like, okay, this is it. And then so much transformation has happened, and I feel like a completely different person. Completely less impulsive, less hormonal, less anxious, and I feel like a better person, which I've always wanted to be better. And I kind of got comfortable being a person who doesn't give back to people that have given to me. And I remember living in a van. I moved in a A-frame when I first came here. But then when I didn't have roommates anymore, I lived in the van in the wintertime, and that was extremely hard. And I remember praying for warmth and to be in a house and sharing such close space with people that I barely knew and don't know what they're going through or what kind of energy they're holding, and the kind of the influence they have on me, like your roommates who you live in close space with. That brought upon a lot of confusion and just a downward spiral for me. Yeah, so I've had a lot of downward spirals here, but it's also a town in which I decided to go vegan. I decided to change my lifestyle. I told myself when I move to California, I'm going to do something extreme, like change my diet or change my hair or something. So I ended up getting a lot of my tattoos here done in Bishop, California, Gypsy King. But anyways, what I really want to talk about today is where I'm at now in the present moment and some advice or some wisdom now that I'm an older woman. I'm so happy to not be where I was anymore. Even though there's a lot of good qualities about me, I just feel like such a more calmer person. So I don't bite my nails and pick at my skin to the point where they're bleeding. I was just picking my skin all the time. And, you know, your skin gets dry, and of course there's like skin that flakes off sometimes. But I have self-control now to not pick it. And my nails are like long, and my skin around my thumb is healed, and that feels like a super amazing accomplishment for me. So that's one thing I noticed where it's like, wow, 4 years ago that ruled me. I didn't even think about changing. I was just like, I'll live with this and then hide my fingers. Or so I can say that I'm good. You know, maybe it will happen here and there, but I can stop at any time, and that feels really freaking good that I don't do it consistently. And I have no desire to do it, and I'm more aware now, and that's such a great gift. Another thing is I don't smoke weed. I don't want to put smoke into my lungs at all. I'm not against cannabis or anything. I use CBD oil, and that's really nice. I realize that you can still get the benefits out of hemp, like wearing hemp clothing or having the CBD oil are probably my favorite ways to have hemp in my life, but I don't need to be smoking weed and escaping my emotions. So I remember when I lived here in the past, in my early 20s and my teenage years, I was even unaware that my brain is still developing. I was treating myself like I had a regular brain. So yeah, my brain was still developing, and I'm so happy I don't smoke weed anymore like I used to. I feel like that's a really great lifestyle change that someone can make in their life, is to quit anything that they run to whenever they get sad that ends up hurting you over time. And I don't think that people should smoke weed very heavily while their brain is still developing. Our brain is not fully developed until age 25, and I was heavily smoking, and I feel like even though it did help with my menstrual hormonal issues, it just also was a very negative effect for a lot of other things. So I feel the negative outweighed the positive, and I feel way more clear-headed, way more sure of myself without it. Another thing, like in this present moment, is not holding a grudge against what someone has done to you or for you in the past, because we can't expect ourselves to be the only ones that are changing. The people that we haven't seen in a while, they're changing too. They've gone through different events and different emotional catapults or spiritual awakenings, possibly. Like, they've done their own work, and we can't expect people to be the same. And I feel like I shouldn't hold grudges against people, but I should also be aware of their behavior in the past, and I'm not afraid to talk about how they messed up and how also I messed up and how I wasn't completely authentic. So I feel like it's good to be aware, but I choose compassion. I choose to be a good friend, a good sister, and that's what matters the most, instead of holding a grudge against someone in the past for what they have said or did or how they reacted. If I'm changing myself and I'm a whole different person, then come on, other people are changing too. We're just not keeping up with their life, so we don't know all the work that they've gone through and went through. I feel intentionally, I've stayed in ashrams, I studied yoga, I sat in meditation, I've done fasting, I've been very strict about sobriety and really keeping a close eye on my habits. So I've been like progressive, like very progressive, because I've been taking it way more seriously and being held accountable. And many thanks to people in my life that have helped me grow and have helped my dreams come true. Another thing I noticed, like 4 years ago, I was working like random jobs that I didn't really want. I was starting to get into the yoga scene, but still I feel like I wasn't working with authentic people. I like to be my own boss and like entrepreneurship. And it wasn't paying that much, like teaching yoga. So I am really happy that I would have never expected, like now in my life, for me to be an artist and get paid for what I do. Like, that's just seems like a childhood dream come true to me. That just seems amazing. Like, I did not think that I was going to be here, but probably if it wasn't towards Christian in my life, like influencing me to be able to sell my art without having to work under a boss or a company, and just go out in the street, go out in the world, road trip, and just share with people what you're all about and just have conversations and inspire people, like that's what really helped me understand, like, click, like, I don't always have to, like, apply to an employer and, like, sign a W-40, or, like, I have a totally different life now, and it's so much better. So much better. Less anger, less stress, less emotions. I was very, like, into my body. I remember my early 20s, I was doing a lot of fitness, exercise, running, weightlifting, cold plunges. I was just, like, obsessed with my appearance. And when I pay attention to my body, I attract other people in my life that also pay attention to their body. So if you really think about it, that's like a surface level relationship. And that's the energy that I'm spreading. Like, oh, I'm obsessed with my body. Like, and body is physical. So that means, like, physical touch and, yeah, just physical touch and having relationships like that. And I really feel like relationships that are physical, even if it's not, like, super intimate, it can lead to, if there's not, like, intelligence there or mental, or if you guys don't connect spiritually, then it could lead to, like, not a thriving relationship long term if it's just physical or focused on the body. So I could care less really about me perfecting a yoga asana like I used to. I wanted to be, like, the best yogi and, like, do all this crazy stuff. And, like, although I really enjoy yoga postures and being in excellent fitness and endurance, I don't care much about, like, how my body looks as I used to, because I know that I'm not the body and I'm not only my body. I know that may sound a little contradicting, but I'm just saying, like, the body's not, it doesn't rule me. It's not the only part of who I am. And in the past, I thought, okay, physical fitness, like, this is the way. No, there's just so much more. And it's really about being conscious and being aware of what's coming out of your mouth and checking in with yourself daily, feeling these emotions and not letting them rule you, and not thinking that emotions are the only thing that is existing within your human experience. You're not just your emotions. You're not just this physical body. And sometimes we 100% of our day just think that, oh, this is it to life. No, we are so much more than that. We're having an experience of being a human. We get to experience godly energy through our breath. We get to connect with ourselves on a real level, because you're in your own thoughts. You're in the mind. You get to have a conversation with yourself. You get to show up. You're the only person who you can be true with. You know if you're lying to yourself. And if you know who you want to be and how you want to show up in the world, you're the only one that's stopping yourself. And I feel if I stayed too long in one town, if I would have never left Mammoth Lakes, I would have not have met the people I needed to meet in order to grow. I would have not waken up. I possibly would have been continuing to smoke weed and continuing to pick my fingers. I went through crazy sexual assault here in this town. I've experienced panic attacks for the first time in my life. I'm learning to regulate my nervous system. It's amazing the work that can be done. Okay, and start now. Start as soon as you can to be aware and live a conscious lifestyle, because I feel out of all the drugs that I've done, out of any sex that I had, like, this is the highest high right here, is to, like, know yourself. You know, all the other things I feel are just so superficial, man. They're like such a temporary fix. The drugs and the sex and the physical, like, I just feel like there's so much more to life than just that. And that's what I'm interested in exploring. So, yeah, I just wanted to check in and make a video because I feel, like, really proud of myself, or really happy that I'm calm. Like, I still go through things, but at least I'm not, like, escaping my emotions through how I used to. You know, I wanted to be accepted so badly a few years ago, and you know, dress a certain way and try to be pretty, try to like show off my body. And I was just, by doing things like that, that I just don't feel like it attracts the best, most authentic people that truly care about you in your life. And I forgive myself for being immature, but just thinking back about the past, I'm just so happy that I'm here now and that people really can change. And it just feels good to be me. It feels really good to me to be me. Sometimes I'm like, who am I? Like, what am I supposed to say when someone says, who are you? You know, who am I? But the older I get, or the wiser I get, the more years I am here on earth, I really get to understand what that means. Like, oh, who am I? You know, I'm like ever changing. And man, one of the most best things we can do is learn how to be patient, learn how to know that, you know, this life is so temporary. Don't waste your energy on making such a little thing such a big thing and being so explosive with your energy. Like, really center yourself and learn how to breathe. Okay, learn to keep your eyes in here, you know. Don't be so caught up in looking around, seeing if someone's looking at you or being seen in a certain way. The most important thing is how you see yourself, because you're with yourself every single freaking day. So look in the mirror, give yourself a high five, or, you know, hold yourself accountable. If you need to be tough on yourself, be tough. If you need to be gentle with yourself, be gentle. And just love where you're at in the present moment, because you're not always going to be this young. Or, you know, we're just getting older. You know, our body's going to change. So we can't be attached to our body or our face or not being wrinkly, because we're all eventually going to go down that road. Okay, so we gotta look inward. We gotta look inward. And a lot of people focus on the outside. Oh, when I have the money, I'll be happy. Oh, when I have the six pack, the abs or whatever, the body, when I lose the weight, yes, that can make you feel better because you're not like full of food. And yeah, it makes you feel better when you work on your physical. But once you are at very well physically, like how I was, I was still a mess. I was still a mess. Yes, I had my body that I was like, yeah, I was confident in my body, but like I was a mess emotionally and allowed my feelings to take over me and become this whole reality. And it really slowed me down. It would take me days to recover from like an emotional thing. And I did not recover in the best way. I just masked it all up with weed and just forgot about what I was working on, then would start all over. And so being still, being in silence, being in meditation, it really helps you like face it, okay? It's better to face something in the moment than wait around, okay? Wait for years to finally work on it. Work on it now, today. Let's stop procrastinating. Let's be grateful for what we have. And I love you guys so much. I had this feeling in my heart today that I really care. I really do care for people. And I want to erase and purify and cleanse any past karma, any ways that I've mistreated people. Maybe they didn't even think of it as anything, but I take these things seriously. You know, maybe the people said, oh no, you were not that way towards me, but I take it seriously because when I remember the ways that I acted, you know, there's really no excuses. Oh, I was young, I was dumb. No, I am here now and I remember what I say, what I did, and I'm not gonna radiate that energy out into the world no more. I want to be a freaking cool being, man. So A lot of people, including myself in the past, if I felt uncomfortable, if I got tired on working on myself, I would reach for something, reach for a friend to hang out with, try to get validated by someone, try to feel better by having a friend validate me and like talk good about me. So another thing too is I looked up to people so much. I put people on a pedestal. I thought that they knew all the answers and they were gurus. Okay, I'm at this point in which I know in my own yogic intelligence and my own body and my meditativeness, like I can guide myself. I used to look up to this yoga teacher like he was the ultimate, whatever he says, like he knows best, and just allow him to teach me everything. And I truly feel like we are our best teachers, and there gets to a point where you practice so much, you know what's good for you. And it's good not to have just one teacher. I feel like it's good to have like many different teachers, so you know how they are and how they operate. Don't just because you love a yoga class so much, you're transforming, you're also changing. So that means you change your style of yoga. Don't just focus on one thing. So the yoga that I first gotten into was very into the body, very fiery, very like really fast moving. And now I'm like slowing down and like being present with the breath instead of having to be all excited, reaching everywhere and doing handstands. And I'm less excited now over that kind of, I guess it depends. All right. But yeah, it feels so freaking good to be where I'm at now. It's like, wow, I actually know what the freak I'm doing. And that feels really good, not to think that someone knows you better than yourself, or that someone is the ultimate and you have to learn from them. You can learn from yourself. Trust your own intuition. Trust your own wisdom. All right, y'all. Take care. Peace out.